All right, what's up? Counter Punch Boxing. Sergey Kovalev is back. Damn it, is he back? Back, bigger, greater, bigger, better than ever. Okay, look, I was hoping this is what we would see. He'd go out there and make a statement, put on a good show, say the right things, look the right way, do the right things. He did it all. I give him like a 10 out of 10. Now, look. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to break down the good and the bad. Okay. First of all, I liked, and by the way, we're going to talk about Gamboa Sosa too. What the hell were them judges thinking? I mean, these judges are getting ridiculous in boxing. And we all know Gamboa lost that fight. I mean, I think I gave him maybe 2 rounds out of 10. I mean, 3 if I'm being generous, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that at the end. This might be a long one, but, we got a lot to talk about here. But look, Kovalev, he talked about, look, I've, I took a hard look in the mirror. I basically, recreated my mind, or cleansed rather my mind, body, and soul. Okay. And I like that, because I even said, if you go back and listen to all my rant and rave, and I said, Kovalev, he needs to just forget about Andre Ward. He's got a good thing going. He's got a couple of losses. And, the hardcore fans, we know the truth. The original fight was a robbery. Even Andre Ward was shocked, like, oh my God, that look. I'll never forget that look on Andre Ward's face whenever they read the decision. It was like Christmas time, and then, the rematch, he wins by low blows, whatever. But, we're moving on. We're moving on. But here's the thing. Let me throw something out real quick. Couple of things. Number one, people call Kovalev a bum. Everywhere I go, these like pro Andre Ward people, they call him a bum. But yet, you ready for it? You ready? Andre Ward fans, you ready? But yet you give him a ton of credit for beating a bum. I never understood that with boxing fans. You're like, oh, that guy's a bum. Kovalev's a bum, but Andre Ward's the greatest because he beat Kovalev, right? I mean, what else is Andre Ward great for? We've gone over it. 32-0, 15 KOs, fought Kovalev twice. Alexander Brand? No. Sullivan Barrera? No, not really. Paul Smith? Come on, you serious? Edwin Rodriguez, maybe Dawson, Froch, Abraham, Alan Green, Kessler. Here's the thing. Ward had 5 fights in 5 years. If you go back and look, right, from 2011, 12, 13, and didn't fight in 14, 15, and two fights in 2016, the dude was basically in the ring once a year, one bout per year. That's it. I don't understand how anyone can look at that resume and call him the greatest or the pound for pound king or whatever it is you want to call it. I really, truthfully don't understand it. And I'm not trying to be hard on Andre Ward, but, I really don't. I look at, like I said, I just look at it. A controversial stop, twice actually, got a gift decision in the original fight with Kovalev. Won by death by low blows in a rematch, and then the ref stepped in, Robert Byrd stepped in and stopped it, and how convenient is that? Adelaide Byrd, with further corruption in the Gennady Golovkin-Canelo fight, I guess the corruption runs in the family, right? Right? Hey, we speak the truth. Look, on the channel, we tell the truth. That's it. The whole truth, nothing but the truth, the truth. The truth. That's all I'm going to talk about is the truth. Now, of course, I'm going to give you a little bit of my opinion, but I can back it up. I can back it up with facts. Like I said, let's look at his record real quick. Andre Ward. Okay, we go back to Kessler, 2009, right? Okay, he did pretty good there. Actually, he had 4 fights in 2009. He did good. 2010, not too bad. 2011, not too bad. Then he started having the Goosen, the contract problems with Goosen, and everything fell apart. Basically Andre Ward sabotaged his own career. Like I said, 5 fights in 5 years, and who was it? It was either Alexander Brand or Paul Smith. It was the New York State Athletic Commission or the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They didn't even want to sanction the fight. They could, because he was ranked like, what was he ranked? Like 21, 20. He was ranked so high up there in the double digits, above like 20 something, right? And then they actually had to change the rankings just to justify the fight. They're like, look, we can't, we can't approve this, and then, I think I believe it was Paul Smith. And then he goes 12 rounds, right? 12 rounds with Paul Smith. I'm like, what the hell, right? Chad Dawson, TKO. Edwin Rodriguez, unanimous. I know my Andre Ward resume, and I'm not cheating. I'm not looking at a paper. I'm telling you right now. I know his resume. It's not hard to remember. So, you guys, you can't argue with me on Andre Ward. I think he's a hype job. And I think he's protected, he's coddled, whatever you want to call it. HBO coddled him throughout his entire career, and he sabotaged his own career. So that's my opinion on Andre Ward. But look, moving on. Look, I'm in a good mood tonight. You know, look, here's the thing. I'm trying really hard to get a video out every day, but it's been tough. I mean, honestly, it's been really tough, but that is my commitment to you guys, to the channel. So, but look, let's get into it. Okay, Shabranskyy. Now, do you give him credit? I mean, people, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know, he beat, you know, Shabranskyy, he's a bum, you know, da, 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 da. And, you know, here's a little bit of criticism I do have for Kovalev, okay? You know, if you go back and watch any Kovalev fight, right, any of them, you know, he looks really good in round 1, 2, 3, 4. But then what happens, right? You see, it's like tick, 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 he starts to fade. You know, you can see the gas tank getting a little low. He starts sweating. He's breathing out of his mouth. He's a little bit flat-footed, you know, not quite as active. You know, the output starts to decrease. You know, he's turning red. He's covered in sweat. You know, you can see it, right? You know, he's covering up more. He's more defensive and not quite as offensive. So I would have liked to have seen Kovalev in round 4, you know, 5, 6, 7, whatever. But, you know, look, based on what I saw, okay, a second round TKO, based on what I saw, you know, he looked great. And to me, it looked like he didn't even break a sweat, okay? He didn't look hot. He didn't look tired. You know, to me, he looked like, you know, he would have been fresh, you know, at least 7, 8, 9 rounds, okay? You know, that's just my own opinion. But, yeah, they opened up with Kovalev talking about, like I said, how he cleansed all his, you know, wrongdoings, right? You know, he admitted that he was drinking, smoking, you know, talked about John David Jackson Jr., how, you know, he basically played video games, he never trained him, you know, so, you know, but we already knew all this, but it is good to at least hear that he's moving forward, and that's exactly what he needed to do. So, but Jim Lampley, you know, said something that I think is, I mean, in my mind, probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard in boxing, okay? He said, a fighter is defined by his losses, not his wins. I mean, isn't that deep, right? I mean, I was like, man, I mean, that's just really deep, right? You know, defined by your losses and not your wins. I mean, and it's true. Because, you know, people look at Kovalev and he was the king, right? He was the king of the light heavyweight division. But all of a sudden, he takes a couple of L's and he's nothing. He's a bum. He's a fraud. He's a hype job. You know, so it's true. And, you know, you're only as good as your last fight. That's another thing that I like to tell people. But, you know, how true is that? I mean, that just hits home. That hits every nerve at home plate, right? You know, a fighter is defined by his losses, not his wins. And it's true, especially with the hypercritical, you know, social media today that we have. I mean, seriously, like, you know, these guys just cannot wait. I mean, they cannot wait to just, you know, dog on these boxers. So, but, you know, I thought he looked great. He definitely passed the eye test. I would have liked to have seen him go on, you know, a few more rounds just to get, you know, a real good feel for, you know, what he really looks like. But, you know, I guess the new coach is paying off, you know, this new amateur coach. And you can tell, I mean, he looks sharp. You know, his punches they had snap, they had pop on them, everything had power. And I love that body shot. You know, he'd work the body, go to the head, work the body, go to the head. I mean, he looked like, you know, a boxer with a good amateur pedigree, right? He looked like this, just, I don't know. I mean, he just had these flashes of greatness in there. And I was thoroughly impressed. Like I said, a 10 out of 10. It doesn't get any better than that. It was even more impressive than Deontay Wilder and Berman Stavern. You know, so where he just blew him out of the ring round 1. This is round 2. But I believe Shabranskyy hit the canvas like 2 or 3 times. I think once in round 1 and then twice in round 2. But I thought, okay, are we going to get another Andre Ward situation where Shabranskyy goes down like Andre Ward did, and then, you know, he comes back to beat him. Now, also, you know, Shabranskyy, he caught Kovalev with a couple of good shots, couple of good right hooks. He did. I know he walked into one and it backed Kovalev up. You know, it could have been a jab. It was either a jab or a right. Can't remember, but he caught him with it, and he took 2 or 3 steps back. You know, I don't think it hurt him, but it definitely knocked him off balance. You know, so so I think, you know, his chin was a little, you know, got checked, got tested. You know, got the chin check. You know, got tested a little bit, which that's good. So I mean, look, we checked all the boxes. You know, the chin check, right? conditioning looked good. His mental, well-being looked good. His physical appearance, everything, every box was checked. He looked great, and he seemed to be in a different place, in a happy place, so I liked this. So now moving forward, now, by the way, Sullivan Barrera passed up a fight because it should have been Kovalev and Sullivan Barrera in there, but Barrera said it wasn't enough money, turned it down. Well, then the WBO? What fucking, I can't remember the belt. There was a belt on the line. I want to say the WBO. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they put a belt on the line, and basically Barrera was like, well, wish I would have known that, because I would have took the fight. I would have taken a pay cut to have a shot at a title, right? So, that would have been interesting. And I think right now, from what I've heard, that they're talking about Sullivan Barrera Kovalev at Madison Square Garden in March, I believe. I believe it's going to be March. So they're already negotiating, already working it out. So Kovalev, he's climbing his way back up the ladder, and I think he's going to do it, because really, who else is out there, And they're talking about a beater beef, So eventually, who doesn't want to see that? I can't wait to see that. A Kovalev beater beef? You kidding me? Come on. That's a dream matchup, right? But look, let's get into Gamboa, right? First of all, the holding. Look, now Gamboa, he was a replacement, okay? He took the fight on like 3 weeks notice, and they were basically labeling the fight as, second chance or last chance for Gamboa, do or die, right? Do or die, Gamboa. But, and then people are like, well, wait a minute. He's got 2 losses, one against Crawford, which he was way too big, and another loss, so this would be his 3rd loss, which he got the decision. But, it was the worst I've ever seen Gamboa look. And Jason Sosa, why has this dude been on HBO 3 damn times? Talk about hitting the lottery, right? The trifecta, boom, 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 3 times on HBO. Like, that's crazy to me. You got guys that are pretty big boxing stars that can't get on HBO 3 damn times. Shit, so, when Jim Lampley, he was talking about that, and they were like, well, he's just a good, rugged, entertaining, contender. And in that particular division, there's just not a whole lot of talent. It's not a big talent pool. So, he's gotten lucky, but, it's karma. I believe it's karma, because remember, Jason Sosa, he got the draw with Nicholas Walters. Now, we know Nicholas Walters won that fight easily beat Jay. I remember I was sitting in the living room at a friend's house, this girl actually. We were sitting there, all huddled and cuddled up on the couch watching it. And, I'm Mr. Boxing, right? And I'm like, no, watch. He's going to lose. I'm like telling her why he's going to lose, this girl I was with. And, I know everything. And then he got a draw, and she was like, I thought you knew your boxing. What the hell? I was like, what? I said, look, you don't got to understand. There's corruption in boxing. There's bad judging. It's ridiculous when you have to explain to people, that the judge that's paid to judge can't really judge a fight. Like, there's corruption and incompetent judges. So, anyway, getting off track a little bit, but Gamboa didn't deserve it. Look, the last time I saw anybody hold that much was Mayweather. I was just like, man, stop holding. Like, seriously, like, I didn't even want to watch the fight. I was like, this dude is just holding. But, but anyway, like I said, karma, Jason Sosa, well, partly why he's been on HBO 3 times is because he got the draw with Nicholas Walters, and now it's karma. It came back to bite him. Now he got a bad decision on him, because I do believe he won. Okay, Gamboa did not win that fight. I don't care what anybody says. Now, I'm sure there's going to be channels out there that will make the argument that he actually won. And he only had 3 weeks notice and this, that, and the other. Well, that's your own fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Roy Jones Jr. said, he's like, look, he's in control of his own career, and, he's just made a lot of bad choices, and a lot of bad things have come his way. And partly it's because of his bad decision making. So, you have to, you have to hold Gamboa accountable for his own career. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Kovalev deleted all the trash from his mind. He was in a car accident. You know, he's humbled himself, you know, and just like I said, he should do. You know, hopefully you guys have listened to my other videos, and he did exactly what I thought he needed to do. I thought it was a dominating performance. And I mean, but here's the question. I'll end it here. Where in the hell was that Kovalev against Andre Ward? Because, you know, even at Kovalev's best moments in the Andre Ward fight, he didn't look that good. And I know what people are saying. Oh, well, you know, he fought Shabranskyy. You know, anybody would. No. Because you go, look, here's the thing. You go back and listen to their prediction videos, a lot of these guys, and they had Shabranskyy winning. There is a channel that at one time I had a ton of respect for, and they had Shabranskyy winning. So, you know, there you go, people. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. What do you think? Leave your comment below.